So, I know this is going to be a little bit of a different style of review than I normally do. It's more going to follow in line with my Excalibur versus Raiden review, where I don't really just show footage and just talk for a while. I honestly just don't have the motivation for it right now. This past week has been a bit overwhelming for me. I just need a bit of a rest. So, hopefully when Sauron vs. Lich King comes out, I won't have to resort to something like this. Sorry about the fireworks in the background. People are just being assholes. I won't... Hopefully when Sauron vs. Lich King comes out, I'll be back to my old self and I'll make a full-fledged review. But mostly, I've just been tired. So, that's why this review took a while to come out. But anyway, let's just get on with the video. Well, it finally happened. We got Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers, and admittedly, don't really have much to say about this one. It certainly is an episode. This is probably going to be my shortest review. But with that being said, I'm terrible with writing intros, so let's just get straight into the episode. Also, Lucariboi made his own videos. Don't forget to check those out in the description. Do that, please. For starters, the analysis. I quite like it. It starts out in the woods with each of the death battle crew just camping in the woods, as Wiz uses his arm as a flashlight. You know, outside of a few examples, they never actually use the fact that Wiz has a cyborg arm. Boomstick gets a lot of love with his shotgun leg, but Wiz, not so much. Anyway, outside of the start and the cutaway gags, this analysis is fairly bleh. It's not bad stuff, but they don't bring up any versus stuff, which will rear its ugly head around later. But I do like Ringmaster playing games on a Switch. It's cute. I like to imagine he's playing Pokemon Unite because it's the closest thing to League of Legends on the Switch. As for the animation, man, this episode really could have benefited from being a live-action episode. Don't get me wrong, the animation is still really good. Devil Artemis did a great job, and honestly, you should all go support him. He's going through a really tough time right now. He definitely deserves some love. And I'm not blaming the episode because there are some very noticeable bits of jank. That's natural in Death Battle. Every episode's going to have a bit of jank, like it or not. But I don't know, this really could have been the best live-action episode, if it was live-action, but you never know. I like how how the fight actually focuses more on atmospheres than the actual fight, though. The fight is still there, but we'll get to that later. I like Pamela using Loomis's Blackest Eyes Devil's Eyes line when referring to her unnaturally buff murder son, or the first kill done by Michael, which is a first-person shot through the mask's eyes as a reference to the first Halloween movie, where Michael's first kill was done via a POV shot. Michael also appearing behind Jason is pretty cool. Really showing off your boogeyman skills there, eh, Mike? But unfortunately, it's followed up with a clash that leaves a lot to be desired. It's way too fast for these characters, and it almost feels a bit weightless. Here's what I mean. Jason and Michael, especially Jason, are swinging their weapons around a lot without planning anything. That's fine and all. But the way they do it is way too fast. And it really doesn't feel like they're swinging weapons, more like they're swinging balloon animals at each other. Now, Michael, I could let it slide. I mean, after all, he does use a kitchen knife. Jason, on the other hand, I don't know, it doesn't feel right with his machete. It really feels like he should be swinging a lot slower than he really is. There should be a bit of breathing room between each swing. Outside of that, though, the clash is just okay. I like Jason throwing a body at Michael. That's just the perfect level of campy that the later Friday films go for. And Michael pinning Jason to a tree with his kitchen knife is also pretty cool. Though it would have been perfect if Michael did his signature head tilt whilst he admires his work. Unfortunately, the head tilt is kind of combined with a turn, which I don't like. I also like how in later shots that you can see Jason has gone off the tree, but he's left Michael's knife there. That's a cute attention to detail. I love it. What isn't cute, however, is this guy's facial expression. I don't know who he is. I'm pretty sure he's from Friday the 13th game. But what I do know is that Nemesis has already given him a name. Everyone, meet Joe Victim. This is what I'm going to be calling him for the rest of this video. Man, compared to John Yacha and a Fakealypse, Joe Victim is really underwhelming. He's only really here to waste your time and take the attention of Jason and Michael. He doesn't have the same John Yacha thick-headed stupidity. Okay, I take that back after he decided to hide literally 5 meters from Jason and Michael. But he also doesn't have the Giga Chadliness epic as fuck thinness of a Fakealypse. I'm sorry, I'm keeping that line read in. You know, I first started calling him a Fakealypse as a joke, but now I genuinely love him. He's the best. Anyway, back on track. Joe is one of 2 characters in this episode that are meant to get murdered by Jason and Mike. And on one hand, I really like this idea. I'm really happy that they went with this. But on the other hand, I'm kind of not. I like what they did with the start with, I think her name was Alex at the start. They used her to start the episode and also to give Mikey his first kill. But Joe Victim is only here used for this pretty cool POV shot leading to Michael hitting Joe in the back, which does fucking nothing. But it does give us that classic Halloween sting. You get a pass for that one, Joe. And also leading the killers to the graveyard for the climax of the fight. But only one of those things has plot relevance, and the other is just used for a jump scare, which isn't scary or startling, but at least they worked one in. Speaking of the graveyard fight, why did Michael have to throw a gravestone at Jason? He doesn't do that. That's more of a Jason thing to do. But outside of that one moment that would make John throwing a chair at James blush, this moment is pretty cool. I love how Michael has Jason pinned down and is trying to force his head onto the axe that Jason threw moments ago. But then, right as Jason sees his mom's gravestone, right next to the pumpkin from the first Halloween movie, I might add, and then you see Jason's eyes showing that deep down, he's just a child trying to appease his mom. That's really when Jason snaps back to reality, oh, there goes gravity, and stabs Michael in the stomach, while Michael stabs him in the head. Michael, where the hell did you get that knife? Jason then grabs the axe from earlier and puts it straight into Michael's face, which I think is a reference to Jason's death in Friday Part 3. I mean, they were both done via axe in the head. I'd be shocked if it wasn't a reference. Jason then decapitates Michael and smashes his head into bits. Pretty good ending for a pretty good episode. Oh, and the post-analysis doesn't really help at all, since there are no calcs for strength, speed, durability, nothing. We're just supposed to take their word for it. Yeah, this is what I meant earlier. But other than that, I massively enjoyed this episode. Even the cutaways where everyone was taken, while predictable, was still pretty funny. Though, I can't help but notice that the only ones who were taken happened to be a girl with glasses, a guy in a red jacket, and a being that no one cares about. Almost like the analysis mirrors the episode in some way. Oh yeah, the track is also pretty good, even if the name is fucking stupid. It captures the Friday the 13th and Halloween vibe, and I love it. But what I really love is the next time. Well, I didn't really express it in my prediction, mostly because I had a bad day that day, and people can be such massive assholes, man. I do really love Sauron versus Lich King as a matchup. I honestly have no idea who wins, but I'm gonna be rooting for Sauron all the way. I think he's really cool. I also kind of don't want Lich King to win because Blizzard is a piece of shit. I don't hate the character. Arthas seems pretty cool. I fucking love his design. He's badass. That's about it. All I know is that it's a pretty cool matchup. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Now piss off.